Good evening and welcome back to Capitol Tonight, a statewide look at politics. I'm Tim Boehm. Image is everything in politics, and there are big questions about Charlotte's image after its mayor was arrested Wednesday. And how about all those ads out there already in this year's election? How are they stacking up? We are joined by two image gurus. Billy Warden is co-founder of GBW Strategies, and Frank Eaton owns the Bully documentary company. And if you could only hear what we've been talking about off camera, we can get that on tape, right, guys? Good to have you. Welcome.
Great to be here.
Thanks. Let's talk about what's happened in Charlotte. He's resigned now, Patrick Cannon. How big of a deal was that for the city of Charlotte, that he resigned?
Well, it was a huge deal, and I think in the future you're going to see Patrick Cannon's slogan become set up and screwed over as he starts to position himself as the victim. And for Charlotte, the slogan might be, hey, we're not New Orleans or Detroit. So, you know, we still got a fighting chance. It's an undeserved black eye, though, to a city that's come so far, weathered so much in terms of the financial fallout. They didn't deserve it.
Frank, what do you think?
I'm not a fan of Charlotte, and I think that Charlotte is lucky because the people who do not like Charlotte has nothing to do with their politics. I mean, there are plenty of germane reasons to dislike Charlotte. And any city that puts up billboards in other towns is highly suspect. I mean, what is it? It's on like Salisbury Street or something. As you come in to Raleigh, there's a big like pro-Charlotte billboard, which is like, I guess, what they've been doing to kind of like get their image out there.
And it clearly worked on you.
It did not. Yeah. It did not. But the
we'll
Cannon
be putting your
thing,
email on the screen for
right,
people.
Please do. The Cannon thing reinforces what people already think about Charlotte, which is that it is a plastic, soulless sump of immorality. I mean, their negatives. Last time, I'm just repeating what the polls have said.
At a larger
their negatives
scale,
are like 98%.
So you do a lot of work with Democrats. You are a Democrat. I mean, are you concerned that this is going to impact the larger party in candidates?
I'm concerned. I don't necessarily think it will.
Because
so
he
what
resigned
happens
quickly,
in Charlotte?
does that help?
Yes, that's big.
It does help, and the new guy came in, and the first thing I heard the new guy say today was, look, we're still going to take out the trash. I read that as a metaphor. I thought that was a brilliant way to say we are done with the former mayor and we're on to something new. But certainly Republicans will try and should try to make something out of this. You know, the person who I thought could benefit from this and who I really like a lot is Charles Meeker. He's still out there thinking about running for governor. He can say, hey, I've got experience. I'm a mayor. I'm not like one of the Charlotte mayors. I haven't had anything to do with this mess in state government. Give me a look. Right now, I really like Charles Meeker.
Interesting. We're trying to get him on the show, by the way,
Good.
so we'll have to ask him that question. All right, let's get to one of these ads, because you guys are really fascinated about ads. And Frank actually caught this one. It just was a couple days ago. U.S. Senate candidate, Libertarian Sean Haw. Most people don't know him. I have a hunch you'll know him after this. Take a look.
Howdy, my name is Sean Haw. I'm from Durham, North Carolina, and I'm running for U.S. Senate as a Libertarian. And, you know, I really didn't want to do this. But I couldn't stand the idea of walking to the voting booth and just seeing the Democrat and the Republican on the ballot. I mean, so the truth is, I'm mainly running for Senate just for me and my own conscience. I just wanted to be able to walk into the voting booth and to vote for something other than more violence, more war, more debt. I just wanted to vote for peace. You know, if you want to vote for me too, go right ahead. My name is Sean Hall, and I approve this message. Why am I supposed to say that?
It's a rule, Sean. You're supposed to say that.
But it's me. But I'm talking. It's just me. Of course I approve this message.
All right. It goes on a little bit longer,
It's
but
awesome.
This is fascinating in many ways.
It's actually really, really good. I am not going to make fun of this ad at all. Because what it is about to devolve into, right as we cut off, is this real meta conversation about honesty in advertising in politics. And that's something that's going to be super attractive to a lot of people. I think there's a lot to be said for this ad. I mean, it's like a bar. It's like in front of his home bar, right? I mean,
I'm ready to donate some beer to that guy's campaign.
I
don't think he needs it
I
anymore.
think it's on Twitter all today. It's too hard.
It is. That's the best pale ale in the country. To our Bell's Two-Hearted Ale.
in a Frank Capra movie, this guy would be propelled to the top and soon start dating a
Right.
fast-talking girlfriend.
Right. But also, what would happen too is that the professionals would come in and hijack him
that's
and
right.
then bastardize his entire
The end of
image.
the second act. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well,
right.
and in some ways it's effective because we're sitting here tonight talking about it. Otherwise,
yeah.
he'd get no attention in this race. probably,
When I
right?
found this morning, it had like 250 hits. So everyone go online and check it, watch it once, add one, and then check it. We're gonna make this guy a star. But what's really, really important is that this race, the U.S. Senate race, is gonna be a 3 or 5 point spread, and this guy is gonna pull 3 or 4 points. He's pulling
if he could beat Tim
somebody's-
D'Annunzio, who's
Right.
also libertarian, former Republican. in this
Right.
race.
But these
Yeah.
guys are pulling someone's margins down. So
I mean, obviously, Billy, a lot of ad folks wouldn't. I mean, Frank. I mean, this is the Puppet Pat, the transvaginal wand. I mean, we know Frank's password.
40,000 hits,
40,000
transvaginal
hits. So we know Frank loves the edgier ads, but I mean, most people would say, okay, you shouldn't have a beer sitting there. You shouldn't admit that maybe you didn't even want to run. I mean, what do you make of it?
I think always push back against the shouldn'ts. Because you're not going to break out and get into anybody's imagination if you go with the shouldn'ts. And so,
Hire him, right?
yeah. So I mean, I'm ready to
hired,
break out
Billy.
a beer and keep talking. But yeah, I think this guy's great, and it's an interesting point that Frank makes that if he can, he could be a spoiler. And there are worse things to be in politics than a spoiler.
yeah, yeah. Well, that libertarian's definitely going to pull somebody out.
So then you contrast that with what we've seen from the super PACs coming in, you know, whether it's AFP or the super majority PAC. Those are very serious ads talking about the bigger issues. So does it, I mean, I don't think this will ever get on television because he doesn't have the money, but does something like that have potential more impact than these ads? I mean, are these ads out there that are the serious ones just white noise?
No, I mean those ads that are white noise, and that's a popular thing to say. And there are lots of strategists out there who are now pushing pure web, all the way web. It's all about emails coming in, inundating you with emails and that sort of thing, and they are effective. But there's no doubt that there are lots of people fiddling around in their garage or fiddling around in their kitchen with the volume up, not even watching it. And they hear somebody's name, and they hear it enough, and they go in the voting booth. Oh, there's that name. I remember that when I was washing the dishes. He or she must be okay because they're on television. So I think there's a huge case to be made for being on television in a traditional way. And I don't just say that because your family's welfare depends on it.
What do you think, Frank?
Yeah, TV's king.
It
That's where it is.
still is and will be for the
Yeah.
near future.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, I'm glad you came on. I hope you guys will do this throughout the election year. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of ads, and I hope you guys will come on again.
Thank you.
All right,
I
thank
hope
you.
so.
We have to take one more break, but when we return, Secretary of Cultural Resources Susan Klutz joins us to give us a sneak peek into the plan to beautify our highways and bridges. Stay with us.